Shining stars and cloudless skies of blue.
On April 28th, residents of Burlington and surrounding communities gathered at Temple Shalom Emeth for a prayer service and Holocaust Remembrance Ceremony. The group said prayers in memory of the roughly 6 million Jewish people who were killed under the Nazi regime. They also lit candles in memories of those lost in each of the countries touched by the atrocities. Those there said it was vital to remember the victims of the Holocaust and to be vigilant against the types of bigotry and hate that allowed the Nazis to rise to power.
It's always important to remember the Holocaust because they say those who forget are doomed to repeat it. And so the significance of this event is first of all, the community coming together to show their support and how much we need each other to fight against hatred and prejudice and bigotry, because we see in our world today that it's so easy to fall back into the same patterns that caused the Holocaust to happen in the first place.
Vitally important that we remember the Holocaust, what led up to it, and the events of the Holocaust, and to be able to share stories like we did tonight with Holocaust survivors. You know, this is real. This happened, and it happened in the lifetimes of people that we know and love. And we've got to remember that if we're not vigilant in protecting the rights and the freedoms of people, that it can happen again.
During the prayer service and remembrance ceremony, Holocaust survivor Leon Rubinstein spoke about his experience during the Nazi occupation of his small Western European city when he was a young boy. He lost all of his family and survived by hiding in a hole in the ground on a potato farm until he was found and taken in by Soviet soldiers.
The
reactions to his story were profound.
Boy, first of all, I thought about the things that I think are problems in my life and the challenges that I have, and then you think about the life of someone who has to overcome living in a hole that they dug for themselves in order to survive. You know, that's it's a story. It's a human story that we hear and remind ourselves that, you know what, we're blessed. We're blessed here in Burlington and here in Massachusetts, and we're going to make our lives better. But we've got it pretty good here.
It's always shocking to me to know that Holocaust survivors cheated death not once but numerous times. And he in particular, his story is just so remarkable because he literally was hiding in a hole, in a pit, and the Nazis were sticking bayonets into the ground and could have easily have killed him, or if they had found him, could have easily just have killed him in an instant. And he was watching people die all around him, but somehow he survived. So it's just a remarkable story of survival and courage, and the fact that he's able to live the life he's lived in this country and to succeed and to thrive in this country. He was able to overcome all of the horror that he experienced earlier in his life to have like the best life he could possibly have. Plus he appreciates everything that he's had since that time because of the horrors that he experienced. So it's just an amazing tale of courage and survival and the indomitable human spirit.
I survived the Holocaust. I have a beautiful family of a son and daughter, 5 grandchildren. I'm what we would call, at least I'm calling it, the American dream. I've made a life here in this country you only dream about. I love this country greatly. The Holocaust was always behind me. Achieving my life, achieving my dream, that was my goal in life. And I'm still driving the same dream. I am so lucky. I am so lucky. I designed my own home in the Cape. Not just a home, an 8,000 square foot home. 4 acres of land. You can only dream of the type of place I have. I live here outside of Boston. My wife happens to be sick. I've been married for 64 years after dating a woman for just about 2 weeks. And we have the best of life, the best. And this country here has been so good to me.
Among those gathered at the prayer service were a number of children of multiple faiths there to learn the lessons of history, something Rabbi Abramson said is important for the next generation.
The Holocaust, every year the Holocaust gets more and more remote, our Holocaust, so it's so important that people hear the stories of actual survivors, because it's very easy for it to become something abstract and not real, and something that's an ancient part of history. But to see like somebody who personally experienced it, to see somebody who personally experienced it, it makes an impression on you that nothing else can.
Finally, speaking of the next generation, I had to ask the rabbi about her guest in the interview.
So so I'm holding Tessa, who is the newest member of our congregation. She's 6 weeks old. I named her 2 weeks ago, and she is living proof that Hitler did not succeed in his desire to eradicate the Jews from the world. But here's the next generation, a nice Jewish girl who will help our tradition continue indefinitely into the future. So love wins.
At Temple Shalom Emeth, I'm B News Director Rich Hosford.
To run and touch the sun. Dear diary, what else can